Welcome to this reading. Today is the 13th of June, so 6:13, and I have been pulling in some synchronicities with things that my guides have been giving me in relation to this particular date. Now, I'm just going to pull some cards. I'm going to see where we go. I don't know if this is going to be more of just messages that I'm giving you, showing you the synchronicities that I'm pulling in on, or whether we're going to go into a full-blown reading. We'll just see where we go. When I was doing the cleanup from the previous reading, this silly little Scrabble tile just kept wanting to come out. It's a Z, number 10. 10 is karmic completion, and Z is the end. A Z is also, if you look at it, it's 2 sevens. 7, 7. So I'm going to pop him here. I'm going to pull some cards. I want to get an angel. So as I said, it is June 13. Omael heals depression and impatience. Let's pop him there. Pop that on top there. That's the Ace of Wands, which is a new beginning. We've got number 71 on the bottom. Divine warrior and protection. And now that's the 10 of Cups. So it is the Ace of Wands. Is a spiritual journey. The Ace of Wands as a tarot card is Aaron's rod, which was in the Ark of the Covenant. And divine warrior and protection. Let's just slide him in there. I'm going to get a card from here. This is my favorite things deck. Energy around this number 613, June 13. Whoa, yeah. Okay. The Salvation Army. Okay, that is 4 cards there. 4 cards. Do I need to get 4 cards? That is 4. These are 2 army buttons from World War II, from the Australian Army uniform. We've also got the Salvation Army there, 20 cents. That's a button, a badge. And this is a button from the jacket, a woolen jacket of a World War II or World War I army uniform. Something about the army here. Z10. So, 4 cards. Anything else? Okay. The key. Or the lock. Something's locked. Looking for the key. Something's locked. The swan. One more. There we go. And a heart. Twisted. Heart. Tied together, though. 2 sides twisted of one piece of string. 2 sides twisted of one piece of string. So connected. Oh, look, and we've got the key. The key to the lock. Oh, that just wanted to pop out. That's on a big map that I've got on the wall where we put all the places that we've been. It's like a wooden cutout, but it's huge. It's like 4 meters long and 2 meters high. And you can put the little drop points of, like the little location points of where you've traveled to. So we just add, we've been quite a few places. But that's the compass. And we've got just the beginning of north, the North Star. The key. Let's put that there. What's wanting to come out underneath? Elk. That came out in a previous reading. Okay, now I'm going to get, because this is Journey, I'm going to pull, this is my travel deck, but it's quite big, quite hard to shuffle. Let's see if a card wants to come out. Ooh, look at his face. It kind of looks a bit constipated, actually. Okay. Oh, okay. And on the bottom, we've got the Brandenburg Gate. Oh dear. Okay, I know where we're going with this. The Brandenburg Gate. That's the four horsemen in Revelation. The Brandenburg Gate was a gate. Well, it's a big monument actually. That was, I don't know when it was built. Might be something about Berlin here. But these four horsemen on the top are often described as the four horsemen in Revelation, which is basically final judgment. North, south, east, and west. A journey. We've got four cards, 4 buttons. Benjamin Button. Heals depression and impatience, and that's the Ace of Wands. Divine Warrior and Protection, which is military army. The key to unlocking something on your spiritual journey. And I'm going to show you something. So obviously that's a symbol that is aligned with that, but it also symbolizes, because these are sevens, 7, 7, 7. The North Star is Ursa Minor, which has got 7 stars in it. And Polaris, the North Star, actually is in Ursa Minor. But Ursa Major has got 223 stars, which adds up to a 7. But they are the Big and the Little Dipper. And they kind of look like 7s, which is what I said here, 7, 7. Something's coming to an end because you've gotten the key to the lock. 7, 7. Z is the end of the alphabet. A new beginning because you're getting the key to the lock. A fresh start. I just got to work out him. But this is the 4 royal stars of, yeah, look at that. 4 horsemen, destruction and judgment. I wrote that there. The chaos that precedes transformation. 4 directions, 4 pillars. The 4 royal stars of Persia are in the sky at specific dates of the year. They're prominent. So we've just had Alberon in Taurus, which was in May, the 28th to the 31st of May. Michael, the truth coming out. The Watcher of the East. The Eye of the Celestial Bull. Power, leadership, and integrity. The Watcher of the West is Uriel. War and transformation. We've got a card of war here. You could even look at this as the Black Swan. So in Indigenous Australian symbolism, the black swan, which is indigenous to Australia, had all of its feathers plucked out. It was essentially attacked by the people around it. The birds around it. Symbolism, metaphorical, these stories. Attacked by people around, and it transformed into a black swan. It's got this beautiful red beak, but that is blood. It symbolizes blood. The black swan. The key to the transformation, destruction and judgment, the chaos that precedes the transformation. And then Leo, which is this northern star here, is Regulus, Raphael. Now Raphael is green. My ears are ringing. The Watcher of the North, the heart of the celestial lion. So the courage that you get after some sort of battle that you've been in. Kinship, honor, and fame. The lion, the ox, the man, and the eagle. John's testament, the vision in the book of Revelation. But it also aligns with that particular image, which is here. And if we're doing the 7 7s, Israel is 77 years this year. North and South Korea. So all of these countries that were in some sort of war, transformation, some sort of a wall that was put up 77 years ago on the 9th of September 1948. The DPKR, which is Korea, or North Korea, put a wall up, a gate up. Key, June 13. There's something about today's date where spiritually, metaphorically, we are being given the key. I've just got to look at this one. Let's get him. I'm going to have to use Google reverse images because he's in the Vatican. He's in the Vatican. He's bloody ugly, I'll tell you that. And then I'll get you some more information on these angels. Okay, I know that it's in the Vatican Museum, but I'm just going to have to read off it intuitively. So let me get the information about these angels. Omiel. This angel protects against sorrow and despair, brings patience, rules over the animal kingdom, watches over the generation of beings and influences chemists, doctors and surgeons. Soul guardian for those born 9:40 a.m. to 10 a.m. Moral guardian for those born the 18th of April, the 29th of June, the 9th of September. There you go. We've got a reference to the 999 portal, which is endings and beginnings, but it's also a reference to North Korea. Moral guardian for those born the 9th of September, the 20th of November and the 31st of January. Physical guardian for those born the 12th to the 16th of August. And then let's have a look at this guy. This particular angel looks over people who are distinguished and love the military, distinguished for bravery, talents and actions. This angel confounds the wicked and provides deliverance from oppressors. Interesting. Soul guardian for those born from 11:20 p.m. to 11:40 p.m. Moral guardian for those born the 29th of May, the 9th of August, the 20th of October, the 31st of December, and the 13th of March. Physical guardian for those born the 5th to the 9th of March. Okay, so let me just get... Actually, I'm going to go through the messages that were coming through. So, June 13th, which is 6:13, in a biblical sense, and I often get biblical messages, which is what these messages that were coming through were about. 6:13 is the amount of commandments in the Torah, which is in Judaism. Now, the October the 7th, obviously, which happened 614 days ago from today's date. On October the 8th, a wall was put up, the gates were closed. So 613. So today's date, which is June 13th, which is 6:13, it has been 613 days since the gate was put up from October 8th, which was the day after the October 7th attacks. Today's date is also Friday the 13th. 613 AD was when Muhammad was asked by Gabriel to reveal Islam, which is the battle between the two, Islam to the world. 613 AD. There's a spiritual significance to this date. 613 seeds in a pomegranate, 613 parts of a human body. In Hebrew, Tarag is 613. And in Strong's Concordance, and I'll show you, Strong's Concordance is a biblical tool that you can use. You put the number 613. It's a chronological index of everything in any biblical text. The 613th word in biblical text is banned imprisonment. Imprisonment, a gate, a fence that's been put up. But somebody's getting the key. Somebody's getting the key because we just looked up 613 in Hebrew, but in Greek, which is the New Testament, so the Old and the New, to keep secret, to hide. The key's coming out to the truth. A secret, by implication, treasured, hidden, kept secret. So I'm going to go through. Sin, 613. That was just what popped up. Things just pop up in my feed and I'm like, why am I seeing that? It's a chronological clock. There's something about today's date that is a chronological part of a timepiece, a historical timepiece, because there's a synchronicity between 613 days where the gates have been locked And today's date, which is the 6th of the 13th, from that October 8th date. Revelation 6:13, the stars fell to the earth like unripe figs falling from the tree when a strong wind shakes it. Now that's the 6th seal. And the irony is, my husband bought me a new car, a Sea Line 7, and it was meant to arrive today, and it's been delayed. It's not arriving till next week. But that particular passage in the Bible talks about the 6th seal, the breaking of the 6th seal. Genesis 6:13, and God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Now, Genesis 6, which is where that comes from, that 6:13, is about the wickedness and the judgment of man. What is that? And 6:13 is when the ark was prepared. So a new journey, a separation, an unlocking. And if we look at the symbology of Noah and the ark, even in the Vatican actually, May 7 or May 8th, basically aligned in the Bible with the 17th day of the second month, because the biblical calendar, the old biblical calendar, is different. The 7th of May was when the cardinals were locked in to the Sistine Chapel, which is the Vatican, to vote in the new Pope. The 14th of that month, Israel turned 77, but that's also the same day that it started to rain, that Noah was locked into the ark. There's some sort of biblical timepiece that's running parallel. It's like a parallel universe that's running parallel to what's actually playing out at the moment. And it has to do with being given the keys to the kingdom of heaven, being given the keys. A battle that you've been in, army, a battle, divine warrior and protection, a battle that you've been in. Because this was all sealed up, this Brandenburg Gate. Judgment is coming. This was all sealed up. And in Catholicism, in Christianity, Friday the 13th, which is today, a day of transformation, but it's a connection with Judas. So trickery, a traitor, trickery, Christ and the apocalypse. So massive transformation. But in Judaism, it's good luck. It's attributed to good luck. So even there's a difference. Okay. Let's get third party. Struggling with personality patterns. Okay, and on the bottom, legacy. This is about your legacy. There's something happening in your life that is a timepiece. And I would even say, and I've not really delved into it, but I've just been looking at, in the book of Revelations, the different dates, like 6:13 is the 13th of June. And I don't know whether you can pull through, but there's things that are just kind of tying together so beautifully, so synchronistically. Okay, let's get, I want that deck. Divine Warrior and Protection and Energy. That was the 6 of Pentacles that wanted to come out. The energy around us, the collective energy. The 9 of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. So it's learning through struggle. The collective energy is learning through struggle. Us. What you are going through. What we are going through. The 8 of Wands. That's a card of divine timing now. The 8 of Wands is Mercury in Sagittarius. It's Sagittarius is the archer takes its shot, but it's based on communication that's coming through. It's almost the time is now energy. The soul. Yeah, the Tower. Now this was coming through the other day. I was getting the energy of distraction. Something's about to happen, third party, something's about to happen to somebody which is actually going to give you enough of an opportunity to make your escape, the great escape. This is what this is. It's the great escape. It's the end. The soul. It's a tearing down. And the Four of Pentacles wanted to show itself. So that's being held. The Four of Pentacles is being held. The message from the man upstairs. The great escape. Message from the man upstairs. Temperance. And the Seven of Pentacles. Now, I love that. Look. Look, 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 look. That's my Jacob and Rachel card. 77. Can you see on his pants, I drew a 7 and a 7. Divine timing. The time is now. It's the great escape. It's giving me Shawshank Redemption energy. It's like, look over here. I'm going to distract you over here. And then all of a sudden, poof, he vanishes in a puff of smoke. The time is now. To make a run for it. And you're protected. The gates are opening. Okay. The King of Wands standing in your power. The outcome standing in your power. This guy makes a run for it. The Knight of Cups. That's the Moon in Scorpio. That's my card. Maybe this reading is what you need to get the courage to make a run for it. When you realize that something in and around you. Part of getting the keys is that somebody else has to distract. The Knight of Cups, the Moon in Scorpio. The Moon is what's hidden. The hidden great escape. Okay. That's a card of divine timing because it's planting seeds. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's upside down. Look at that. It shouldn't be upside down. The Eight of Swords in the upright is being stuck, but you've got it that way. It's a release. Judgment. You've passed whatever test. And we've got the Ace of Wands again. You're being given a new beginning. The Ace of Wands is Aaron's rod. Now, Aaron went with Moses and parted the Red Sea. That was the rod that actually gave them the escape. 613 is imprisonment. Banned imprisonment. You're being given the great escape. That's a Pink song, The Great Escape. The Great Escape. The Four of Wands. Leaving disappointment. That's the Moon in Cancer, which is the 25th of June, which also adds up to a 7. And the Five of Pentacles. It's a release. You're being let out of the cold. Led out of the cold. Turning lead. Turning lead into gold. Yeah, the devil is being distracted by something else. And you're going to be able to just waltz on out the door. And it's because you've endured the battle. Okay, the Tower. The Four of Swords. It's like I know nothing energy. Whilst this tower falls. King of Swords. Whilst the tower falls. Somebody's, look at that. This is a message from the man upstairs. You've got the Seven of Pentacles. You've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Temperance card. It's divine timing. You're being set free. Given the keys. King of Wands. The Hermit. You're given the keys because you've been on a spiritual journey. A wounded warrior. You've learned all the lessons. And on the bottom, guided by an angel, the Temperance card. That's beautiful. Oh, and look at that. Six of Wands and the Star. Victory after a long battle. Finally able to plant the seeds where you want to plant them. And the King of Wands underneath, which is this card here. Doubles in cards. That's just beautiful. Okay, it's quite cold today. My fingers are very, very cold. That might be a message for somebody. What advice? Advice for my viewer. Perception. I recognize that each individual traverses their own distinct journey, complete with its own set of trials and tribulations. That reminds me of, don't measure your self-worth using somebody else's ruler. Regret. I recognize that the sands of time cannot be altered. And one more. We've got three. I don't want three. I just want one, please. Nothing else in there. Okay. In the song, Make You Feel My Love by Adele and November Rain. Just take these cards as they resonate. And Woman, John Lennon. Okay, I'm going to get you some Scrabble tiles. Letters and numbers in here. I'll call whatever comes out. I'll call them out. It does make a little bit of noise. Please turn your volume down if you have hearing sensitivity. I'm going to shake it in 3, 2, 1. S and a 1, a P, salt and pepper. P and a 3. What I heard is that Push It song. O and a 1. You're not going to have to push the door open because somebody's... Where is that movie? There's a movie or a series where they're handed the keys. Somebody hands them the keys and then they can let themselves out. A B and a 3. An R and a 1. An F and a 4. An E and a 1. A T and a 1, a U and a 1, and an A and a 1. Okay, 3 final cards. Let's use this tiny little deck. Anything else? King of Cups in reverse. The King of Cups is Neptune in Pisces, but in reverse. So it's a lot of love to give, but in reverse it's holding it back. Ace of Pentacles, giving it in a practical sense. The Ace of Pentacles is 3D energy, or not being able to give anything in a 3D sense because you've been caught in something. And the Seven of Cups, caught in illusion. Seven of Cups is about illusion. Salt and pepper. Page of Wands, which is now able to explore. I want to get you one more card. I'm going to get you one of these. This is my love deck, not a love reading. I mean, if that's resonating with you, then that's great. What is that? Just being called. I'm feeling lost and lonely. I think I have lost it all. Okay, I'm going to get you another guidance card because Let's get a message from Mary. There we go. Iris. Mary's sword of sorrow. So a sword is a 7. A sword is truth. Regret. And November rain. Iris. I give up forever to touch you. That's from, there's some sort of angel and devil here. That's from City of Angels. That Nicolas Cage, Meg Ryan movie. There might be something in that movie. Yeah. So he had to give up his angel wings in order to be with her. John Lennon had to walk away from the band in order to be with Yoko Ono. Well, I think he was doing it anyway. But 613 is banned imprisonment. Feast of Our Lady. Oh my goodness. Are you joking? Feast of Our Lady of the Rosary. Can you see the date on that? That's October 7th. 613 days today since the 8th of October. Mary's Sword of Sorrow. October 7th is actually my birthday. Dreadful, right? Everlasting, eternal loving in heaven. That's an everlasting flower. You've actually got divine guidance, well, and protection because of the journey that you've been on. I feel like I need to I'm going to get you. This is my Gwen deck. This is my beautiful images that remind me of my grandmother. Everlasting, eternal loving from heaven. Let's get some messages from the grandmas. That's an old silver teapot. Hold on. That's what that's giving me. Hold on. Just hold on. We're going home. That Justin Bieber song. Just hold on. I'm feeling lost and lonely. What else from the ground? Oh, that's too many. Let's see if it comes out again. Yeah, some sort of sacrifice that's been made. Or that you're having to make. It's meant to come out. It came out in the previous reading. I knew it was going to come out. Okay, this particular teacup belonged to my grandfather. It was given to my daughter because she was the first of the great grandchildren. Now, he was an orphan. His mum had died in childbirth, and that cup was passed down. He was raised by his aunts. So you might have been raised by somebody other than your parents. A battle, a journey that you've been on. But there's an independence in here. Just hold on. There's an independence in here because when we moved into the house that we were in, I accidentally dropped. It was a key. It was a key. It was a keychain. I accidentally dropped this silver, it was a religious keychain, and it fell and it landed on the edge of this teacup and it put a little chip in it. And I felt dreadful because it's this family heirloom. But it was meant to be in there because the chip that's in it reminds me of the story in Beauty and the Beast of Chip, that little teacup, and the teapot. There's the mother. It's mother and child. I'm actually going to cry. This is really beautiful because Mrs. Potts was the teapot. And all of the people there, they basically sacrificed. They sacrificed who they were because of the ruthlessness of the beast. Some beast, some sort of beast in your life. Some beast in your life. They were locked. Look at that. They were locked up. They were locked up and they couldn't escape imprisonment until the spell was broken. Palestinian people locked up. 613 days today, June 13, which is the 6th, the 13th of the 6th. Locked up until the spell is broken. Courage, perseverance. If you think of Belle in that movie. I've just got that Beauty in the Struggle song. Even she thought she was trapped in there. She thought she was trapped in there because maybe you exchanged something with somebody and it got you stuck. Wow, what an interesting reading. That's what I've got for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Any of the songs that I mentioned will be listed in the description box. I'm not sure whether I said it, but all of the decks that I use on my channel are my own designs. If you call to any of those, they are also in the description box. All the best on this journey, and just know that the key is coming. The gates are about to be opened for you. The floodgates are about to open is what I just heard. Thanks for joining me. If the reading resonated with you, please give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I will see you in another reading.